Okay, thank you guys again for joining. Today we're going to talk about the differences between the career of real estate and the job of real estate, and really how to use your time to be most successful in this business. And so I just want to kind of start out with the difference between a job and a career. And I think there's like a really big difference here. And if you're really full-time in real estate, you need to see this as a career, right? This is not just a job. And a job, according to the Oxford Language Dictionary, is a paid position of regular employment or a task, a piece of work, especially one that is paid, right? The things that we do in a real estate career as part of our job are really things that we have to do to, get to the next step, right? A career is an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life and which opportunities for progress exist, right? You can move further along in a career and you can build a career, right? And so, the way many people kind of look at this in real estate is that, if you're just going ahead and doing rentals, right? If you're renting an apartment, you're doing a job, right? You're accomplishing, the thing that's going to get you paid, that is doing a rental. But if you're not taking advantage of all those people, the connections, the conversations that you have to further, then you're not building a career. Again, a job is something that you do to make money. It is hourly, it is repetitive, or it is something that you have to do to earn a living. A career is something that you build on with opportunities for growth and progress, right? And so, my main question to you is that if you think about the week that you've had so far, right? We're on Tuesday, so you've already had all day Monday. Let's talk about Sunday. Whatever you did on Sunday, Monday. Now we're in Tuesday, right? What did you do in real estate, right? What did you do in real estate? And were you doing a job or were you building a career? So I'd like to take a second and just, have one or two of you share, right? So I'm going to pick on you, Tom, because I know you worked an open house on Sunday. So what have you done over the past 48 hours that is real estate related?
As you said, I did work in open house. I also conducted a showing with a agent. I've been developing a relationship. She's in the market for her son. He has special needs. So she was an active agent. She's now a referral agent, and she can't access the MLS things as a referral agent. So she's leaning on me and working with me to get a special house that will address his special needs, meaning a ranch with walking proximity to a few towns in New Jersey, because with these needs, he is not a driver.
Sure.
So I did an open house and I attended a particular showing with her. She would like to present an offer.
Yeah, you don't have to go into too much detail on that, but that's great, right? You did an open house and you showed an apartment, right?
Right.
Great. How about you, Julie, or how about you, Donald? What did you do in the last 48 hours in real estate?
I just followed up with people that were looking for listings and sent them what they were asking for.
Okay, so Donald followed up with some of the customers that he's currently working with and sent listings to them.
Sure.
Okay, and again, all these things that you guys mentioned are things that we have to do in real estate, right? These are part of what I would consider, and kind of save what Donald mentioned about, following up with customers. Those are part of the job, right? Those are part of what we have to do to accomplish our end goal, which is helping someone find, a house, helping someone find an apartment, helping someone find a rental, right? Tasks in the job of real estate include the following in my mind. And again, there are hundreds of them out there, but things that we have to do to accomplish our job are things like showing apartments and houses, completing an application, be it a rental application or a co-op board application, stuff like that. Again, doing deal paperwork, right? You've accomplished something, you want to get paid on it, you got to do your paperwork, right? Maybe running comps, right? Seeing what something should be priced at. Again, putting together a board package. A lot of times, especially in New Jersey, you're going on an inspection, you're going on a walkthrough, before the closing and things like that. Maybe you're attending a closing, right? These are things that we need to do in order to accomplish our job, but they are not necessarily things that are building our careers, right? And again, what are things that we can be doing and must be doing to further our careers, right? These are things like prospecting, networking, right? Meeting new clients, right? And taking actions that will help us to meet new clients, to then go do buyer consultations, to turn them into customers that we're working with. Doing a listing presentation, right? That's something where we're in front of people. Touring new developments, right? Building up our market knowledge and experience. Again, Tom mentioned working in open house, right? And I would say that working in open house is something that will build your career, because you never know when the next, direct buyer or person without a broker is going to walk through that door, right? And that will help you get in front of more people. Networking with other agents, right? Especially here at Weichert, it's a great thing that you can do, right? Tom mentioned he's helping a referral agent. Reach out to people who might not be active in real estate anymore and see if there's anything you can do to help them with their past clients or customers. Again, doing a listing presentation and meeting sellers, right? Because sellers often turn into buyers. And workshops and continuing education, right? These are things that are going to build your knowledge. And to me, that is something that will build your ability to work with other people and really builds your career, right? They're not job related. They're not, menial. And again, they're important, but they're menial in the grand scheme of things, right? Showing an apartment, right? Anyone can show an apartment, right? But what you do at that showing is what will build your career, right? Same thing with, putting in an application, right? It's what you do after that, right? You put in an application, someone rents something, right? Now, what are you doing with that person to continue to build your career based on the deals that you've done already? Again, running comps is sort of a little bit of market insight, but if you're just running comps to see what's on the market, that's not going to really build your career, right? It'll build some of your knowledge and things like that. And the same thing again, going on inspection or walkthrough, right? When you're on that inspection, are you talking to the inspector, seeing what he's seeing on the market, right? Are you seeing what they're seeing in their properties and things like that? At the walkthroughs, right? Are you talking to, to all the other agents? Are you talking to at the closing if you're there? Are you talking to the other attorneys? Are you networking with them, right? So again, these are all things. Everything on these lists are things that we have to do in this business. And what I want to really point out is that you all need to spend more of your time doing actions to build your career versus just the actions that you need to do your job, right? And I hope that's a something that you take to heart, right? We're going to talk about scheduling. We're going to be talking about what you're doing on a daily basis, and really, and we'll get to this, but the task of the real estate job should take about 20% of your week, right? And the things that are building your career should take about 80% of your week. So again, what percentage of your day is spent on each? And from the answers that we receive, I think most people, and again, I think this is true of good agents, right? And I talk about this a lot. There's a huge difference between a good agent and a great agent. And it's a thin line that you can easily cross over because you have all the tools and resources you need to do that, right? So again, what did you do yesterday and what are you going to do today for your job, right? Maybe you're going on showings. Maybe you're running comps. Maybe you're submitting an offer, right? Those are part of the job. But really what we want to focus on is what did you do yesterday and what are you doing today to build your career, right? And just being on this call is going to be helping you, right? It's helping you to think about these things in a different way. So I appreciate all of your time for being here. But on a daily basis, we need to do more to build your career versus to just do the job that you need to do. So again, if you don't control your time, it will control you, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. And within that day, you need to sleep, right? Maybe you need 6 hours, maybe you need 10 hours, and it doesn't really matter. You need to eat, you need to spend time with your family, you need to exercise or go outside. You probably have other commitments, right? Be it family, friends, hobbies that you have. I know Julie's on this call, she likes hiking, right? I know, other people have other vocations and things like that. So really what you need to do is think about in a 24-hour period, right? Today's Tuesday, and I keep messing up the days, so I apologize for that. But, how many hours are in your day that you can devote to real estate? And once you have that down, right? And once you have a control of that, then you need to start organizing yourself to do things that are both part of the job of real estate and part of the career of real estate. And more of that time must be spent on the career of real estate. So again, if you're full-time, you should have about 50 hours a week that you can devote to real estate, right? And there are, again, things on this list that are part of the job, things on this list that are part of the career, right? Email and prep, right? Email, getting ready, confirming appointments. That's part of the job. We need to confirm appointments. We need to go on appointments and things like that. We need to do market research, right? And again, there are many ways of doing that. Going out and seeing buildings, right? I hope many of you can attend the tour that we have on Thursday down at 75 Wall Street, because that is going to help build your career, because you're going to see other agents, you're going to network with people, you're going to talk to people, right? It's not just sitting in front of a computer and looking at properties. It's actually physically seeing them so that you can then talk to other people about that. Even if you don't have a buyer for, you know, those apartments, you know a new building, and now you can effectively talk to people about that. Education and development, again, being on this call, right? Open houses and showings. And again, showings to me are, again, people you're working with. That's part of the job. Open houses are part of the career, right? Because there is the opportunity for you to be in front of people that you don't know and to convert those people into people you're going to be working with, right? It's building yourself, it's building your business, it's building your brand. Social media and RentHop postings, if you're working on rentals, right? Social media postings, again, that's prospecting, right? That's really networking. That's getting yourself out there with information that helps people. And again, RentHop does the same thing, right? It gets you in front of more people, it gets you in front of more clients and customers that you can work with. And again, generally prospecting, right? You're going to hear it again and again from me this year. You need to be prospecting about 80% of your time, right? And if you're not doing it, and again, unless you have like 15 clients you're working with, you can only spend an hour or two a week prospecting. That's what you need to be doing. And if you're not doing it, you will not be successful in this business, especially in this market. Again, I kind of hinted at this before. It's an 80-20 rule, right? 80% of your time should be doing the things that will build your brand, your business, and your career, right? 80% of your time should be on career building activities. 20% of your time should be doing the things that you need to do to finish the job. And again, you know, I think most of us have this the other way, right? Many of us probably spend about 95% of our time doing the job and 5% doing the career and building the career, when really we need to spend 80% of the time, and 20% of it should be doing the things you need to do to finish the job. Sorry, I messed up these slides. But again, if you're part-time, that's okay, right? You need to devote at least 20 hours a week to real estate. Again, doing the same things, devoting the same percentages of times to that. So again, I'm going to go over kind of what a schedule that I like is. And again, what you want to do is block out time every day to get back to people. And again, except to set or confirm appointments, you should be able to excuse yourself from things, right? And not respond in a minute. Many of us live by our phones, right? We go off the last text message that comes in, the last email that comes in, right? But turn your phones off if you need to, right? There are times that we can do this, right? Especially when we're doing the very kind of important things. We need to be able to have our full attention to doing that, right? Maybe you say, okay, I'm gonna set aside, 15 minutes a day for email and prep. Great. Well, actually, during that time, make sure you're doing email and prep. Again, give yourself time to get organized, right? Use your time to reach out to people. Block off time every day to answer the pressing emails that you have, send out listings, whatever that is, but also use your time to follow up with past clients every week, right? You don't have to contact the people every week, but there should be enough people in your sphere or within your network where you can reach back out to people and ask for referrals, ask for reviews, right? Ask them to help you grow your business. That's part of your prospecting. Market research, right? Again, the trip on Thursday is market research, right? But spend some time and block it out in your schedule to get to know the market, right? You guys should all by now have a target market area. Hopefully Rudolin has helped you put in those zip codes into your My Weichert system so that you can send mass emails and things like that, right? And so because we're seeing this as your career, you need to know what's happening, right? Start small with one neighborhood, with two neighborhoods, and know everything that's going on. And then you can expand out, right? If you're focusing in Astoria, do you know every single new development in Astoria? How many of them have you visited, right? If you're working in Chelsea, right? Can you walk down the block and point out buildings and say, this is a co-op, this is a condo, this is a rental building, this is a commercial building, right? You should be able to do that. I can take anyone for a walk right now downtown, and probably I would get 9 out of 10 buildings correctly, right? I can tell you if it's a co-op or condo. I can probably tell you what the sale price is in certain buildings based on my market knowledge, right? And that's part of you building your career, right? You need to know what you're talking about, especially if you're working only in one neighborhood. You should know every single thing that's going on, right? You should be looking at Urban Digs, at OLR, at StreetEasy, at Inman News, at Yes in My Backyard, which is a new development website, at Google, right? And spend an hour every week doing market research, right? And again, that can be from behind a computer, but that can also be going out and previewing properties. I tell many of you, again, if you don't have enough clients that you're going out every Sunday with people, every Sunday should be spent out at open houses, previewing properties, right? Pick a neighborhood and go to 15 open houses every weekend, right? That's going to help you build your knowledge so that you can effectively talk to people and build your career. Again, social media and RentHop, right? These are two ways that you can get your name out there more, right? If you don't have enough clients, if you don't have customers, right? Posting on RentHop means two things, right? The first thing that it means is that you know the inventory that's out there and what some good deals are, because that's what you should be posting, right? OP rentals, ones where the owner's paying our fee, things that are out there that are, good value and things like that. Make sure you're updating and checking your ads a few times a week. And again, this is part of the job of real estate posting, but it helps build the career of real estate because you have to know what you're going after and it will help you build your customers, right? Track what is working, what is not, right? Update your knowledge of buildings, know what buildings people like. Maybe you keep posting the same ads and no one's responding to it, right? Change up your ads. Again, also spend some time building up your online presence, right? Because this helps more people know that you're working in real estate, right? You're building your career by letting people know what you're doing, right? So again, do you have a Facebook business page? If you don't, set it up. Do you have an Instagram account? If you don't, set it up. And again, if you want to go further down the road, if you already have the first two, set up a Twitter, right? You can start talking about new developments. You can start talking about what's going on in your target market area, right? You really want to specialize yourself so that you can really start building your brand and your name to then further your career. Again, open houses and showings, right? One thing that I notice, and this happens especially with rental agents, right? They run themselves ragged, right? Maybe you posted something on RentHop, one person wants to see it at 4 o'clock and one person wants to see it at 7, right? So you're just sitting around for 3 hours doing nothing, right? Try to see if you can mush those times together and show at the same time. It's not always going to work. But again, if someone really wants to see a property and you can't make the time, set up a little bit different of a time or group the showings together. The weekends are always a great time for anyone to see properties, and you can usually schedule by appointment showings all the time. So again, say, you know what, why don't we go out on Saturday? I can show you 5 places, right? Why don't we go out on Sunday? I can show you 5 places, right? Make sure that you're being as effective as you can with your time and grouping things together. Again, use the time in between showings to create a feed for social media, right? You can make a quick video. Hey, look, this great apartment in Astoria. Again, if it's an open listing, you can do that. Or information on the area, right? Like, again, if you're walking down the street in Soho, you see a cool new restaurant. Hey, walking down in Soho, my main market area, just want to show you this amazing new Greek place open down the road, right? You're already there. Takes you about 14 seconds to do it. And again, you can always schedule a few appointments when you go out, right? Save your time, right? Your time is valuable. That's why we do everything, remotely these days, so that you can do a lot of stuff from the comfort of your home, but you really do need to get out there in the field as well. Again, preview a new building after showing in that area, right? Like, use your time. If you, again, Julie had a listing up in Washington Heights before, right? And so a great thing when you have a showing there, or Tom, maybe you had it in Rye, you can go see some other properties in Rye, right? Depending on where your market area is and where you're really focusing, you can start to get to know the neighborhood better by kind of tacking things on to when you're already going to be somewhere, right? Donald, maybe, you had a showing in the East Village, right? Did you walk around for 15 minutes afterwards, or did you run home afterwards, right? Think about these things and think about best using your time to gain more knowledge, more experience, and more opportunities to talk to people. Market research, right? So again, one thing that you can do from the comfort of your home, and again, I say do about an hour of this a week, that's it, is to figure out the average sale price in your target market area, right? Can you guys all rattle off to me, what is the average sale price in your target market, right? Tom, can you tell me that in the East Village? Julie, can you tell me that in the financial district? Donald, can you tell me about that in Astoria, right? Wherever it is. And again, you don't have to answer, but think about that, right? You should be able to do that, right? What about Manhattan? What's the current average sale price, right? Our new market reports going out. Make sure you know that those numbers front and back. You should also know new developments that are going up, right? And that's one of the things that's really great when you can, you're out with a client, you're walking down the block. Oh, just want to let you know that's a new high rise. The price per square foot is $3,000 in that building. They're mostly 3 and 5 bedrooms. That's it, right? That's all you need to know. You need to have a little bit of knowledge that you can share with people. If you don't know these things, and if you can't really answer certain questions, you're not going to be an asset to people that you run into, right? you need to know what is going on in the market, right? If I asked you, and again, this is just an open question, right? Tell me about the real estate market in New York City right now. Like, how would you answer that, right? And again, my answer is that, well, there are a lot of different markets in New York. What neighborhood are you referring to? Okay, you're talking about Soho. Great. Well, right now in Soho, we have extremely limited inventory. Price per square foot is at one of the highest that it's been in a long time. We're seeing condos at over 2,000 a square foot, and we're seeing co-ops reaching above 1,500 a square foot, when a few years ago we were closer to 1,200. That's it, right? I know that. And again, I know that because I know the neighborhood, I know the market, it's where I work. And again, you should have the confidence to be able to say that at some point soon. And if you don't have that, you have every single resource you possibly can to know that, right? And so my task to you is to build your career, right? Do some market research. And again, here are some things you can do, right? You can go into OLR, you can go into StreetEasy. You can do a sales search just for that neighborhood, right? Do $1 to $100 million, right? How many results are there? Maybe in Soho, there's 15. How many are below a million? 2. How many are above 10 million? 10. You can look at market trends. What are the new developments coming up, right? Can you tell me about that, right? Hudson Square is a great example, right? Kind of newer neighborhood. I could walk you around Hudson Square right now and tell you every single building from the ground up that's going up and what the prices are if they're listed already. Again, get a sense of condos versus co-op in that neighborhood, right? If you're working in Queens or Brooklyn, what does a townhouse cost you, right? What does a multifamily cost you, right? What is the price per unit in a multifamily right now in Carroll Gardens, right? Can anyone answer that? Again, if you don't work in Carroll Gardens, it's okay to say no, but if you do, you should be able to do that and to really get the trends. And again, market research is both being behind a computer and it's walking out in the streets, right? It's going to open houses, it's going to preview properties. Again, it's going to new development launches and things like that. These are all part of you building your knowledge so that you will further your career. Again, focus on workshops and skill building, but to a point, right? Sometimes we become what we call professional students, right? That means that you're going to be on every single training that I do, but then you're just going to watch it and be done, right? This is about taking action to build your career. This is about taking action so that you can be successful in this business. And that means you have to be out there and you have to be in front of people. You need to be doing things. And again, we'll get to that in a minute. The education developments are about skill building. But again, plan time for this each week, right? Look at our weekly schedule, right? Again, you guys are on this today, so maybe this is your hour or half hour of education development every week. But maybe sometimes you do a different session, right? And look at the weekly schedule and plan around it, right? It's pretty standard in our office. Every Tuesday at 12, we do this. Again, we have call sessions, we have other things that are going on that are more about you building your career versus just getting this education. And again, my hope and my desire is that after seeing this, it will be a call to action that many of you are probably doing things you need to do the job, but you are not building your career and you need to change that. And I can work with you at helping you change that, but you need to want to change that. So the most important, kind of save for last, is prospecting and networking, right? You need to spend 80% of your time talking to people, calling them, texting them, emailing them, right? You need to be reaching out to get more people to work with, because every successful transaction that you close should mean that you're going to get more business down the road. And we always use kind of like the avalanche kind of reference, or the snowball rolling down a hill. It's going to keep gathering, get bigger. And what I can tell you is that my first year in real estate, I made $6,000, right? $6,000, awful. That's not a living wage, right? I was doing a job, I was showing apartments, and that's it. But when I kind of changed my mentality, and when I started to really think about it as a career, I started to talk to every single person that I could, right? I talked to everyone, their friends, family. I talked to my mom's friends, right? Just to let them know that I was in real estate. And by doing that, I started to get more leads. And by doing the things like the call sessions, right? By going to open houses, by following up with every single person who walks through an open house that you're hosting, right? By, again, calling your sphere of influence, your friends, your family, your past coworkers, whoever it is that you know that you can get on the phone with, and telling them, hey, I wanted to let you know I'm working in real estate in New York City. I can cover all 5 boroughs, or I can help you get the person who needs it. If you know of anyone looking to buy, sell, or rent, I'd love to work with them. Thank you so much for thinking about me, right? We can also reach out to people that we might not know, but that we know are selling, for sale by owners, expired listings, right? We can visit doormen, right? Again, maybe you go to the same restaurant every week, right? You go out for dinner Thursday night every week, the same place, right? Do all the waiters there know that you're in real estate, right? And again, this is not about being salesy, being pitchy, anything like that. It's just letting people know what you do. Because if they like you, they're way more likely to want to work with you than someone else, right? To buy, to sell, to rent an apartment. And this continues to build, right? Every single closing that you have. And again, I can tell you this, right? A friend of mine wanted to buy something. I think I did a great job. They said I did a great job. So, and since then, they've referred me to 3 people, 2 looking to sell, 1 looking to buy, right? So from 1 closed sale, I basically got 4 deals. 4 deals. And that should happen all the time in real estate, right? And again, I've talked about this before, but one of the biggest things is that there's a difference between a good real estate agent and a great one, right? And as I mentioned before, a good one looks at it as a job, a great one looks at it as a career, and a good one will, do the tasks at hand to close on the clients that they have. A great one will take every single opportunity that they have and make more opportunities from it. And I'll use an example of this, right? Let's say you're on Rocket Homes, right? And you're getting buyer leads from Rocket, right? It's a great way to have someone to work with, right? By taking out a client, you're doing your job. But do those people refer you clients, right? Even if you're currently working with them, have you asked them for referrals? If you haven't, you're doing a good job, not a great job. Have you taken the fact that you have a buyer looking in a certain neighborhood and sent out emails, text, or made phone calls to people to try to find off-market inventory for those buyers? If you haven't, then you're doing a good job, but you're not doing a great thing to build your career, right? Think about that, right? And again, many of our agents recently have been successful with sending out mass emails and getting listings, right? Where we've got some agents going on a second listing appointment today off of 1 mass email, right? And so are you using every opportunity that you have or had to build more opportunities, right? And again, if you say, well, I have no one to work with, you're not doing what you need to do, right? You're not prospecting and networking. And if you don't have the time or energy or network to do that, then use Weikert's network, right? We have Weikert.com leads. We have private call sessions. We have all of these different referral sources, right? We have Rocket, we have StreetEasy, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, all of these different places. We have the lead network. We have the rental network. There are so many opportunities out there, right? And so if you're not doing what you need to do to take advantage of these opportunities, let's talk and let's figure out a schedule that works for you in order to do so. Again, working open houses, right? If you don't have an open house to work over the weekend, you can talk to me and we can try to find someone that maybe you could sit in an open house, right? Many people have listings. They don't do open houses as often as they could. And so maybe there's some opportunities there, right? Again, even if it's not your open house, right? And maybe one of the agents, again, I had a place in Red Hook for a while, right? No one ever asked me to sit in an open house at that. And I would have gladly have you come and been able to work at it, right? Some people stopped by, but that was it. Right. And again, maybe you find an agent who says, well, I'm going to be doing the open house, but maybe you can offer to them, hey, can I email everyone in the building and tell them about the open house? Hey, can I send emails to the neighborhood saying that you're having an open house? Hey, can I, sit by and again, take some of these buyer leads if you don't want to work with them, right? I'll give you a referral on it, right? Can I reach out to other brokers and let them know about this, right? I want to help you sell your listing. Right? I don't want any portion of that, right? I want to help you. I want to do things that maybe you don't want to do. Again, expired owner prospecting, rent to buy emails, right? This is a great one because the rental market is so insane in New York. Have you reached out to rental buildings? And you can pull many of these lists from Cole Realty to try to, and again, not specifically for rentals, but you can pick target buildings, try to tell them, hey, have you thought about buying, right? Again, we have OpCity leads, right? And these will allow you to do more buyer consultations, right? So having the lead is one thing. It's what you do with them, right? When you get the lead, are you doing a buyer consultation to build that network up, right? That's what builds your career. And again, I talk to people about this. Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, we didn't have time. Oh, whatever. The best way to convert any lead that you have into someone that wants to work with you, be it a friend, a family member, someone off the street, is to do a buyer consultation, because most people do not understand the process of working and purchasing a home in a condo or co-op. If you teach that to them, if you sit down with them and explain it and make sure that you know it before you do that, but you can get them to want to work with you. And again, I remember the first time I did this, right? It was pretty soon after Weichert acquired our office. I had never really done a formal buyer consultation before. I went out with a lead from Lead Network. Again, a new thing to me. I was like, wow, this is great. I've got someone who wants to go see a property. Showed her one property. I said, hey, let's get a coffee afterwards. I sat down with her. I went through the buyer consultation with her. And she said, I've been looking for 3 months with other agents. No one is taking the time to do this with me. I want to work with you. And I closed with her, right? And she sent me referrals since then because I follow up with her. And so again, think about this, right? Every one opportunity that you have will build your career. You have to take advantage of them, number one, right? So you need to be doing things to prospect and to network. If you're not doing those, right? If you're not meeting with, to me, it's a minimum of 5 new people a week. If you don't have anyone you're actively working with, you're not doing your job. You're not doing your job. And not only that, you're not building a career. And it's by doing that that you will be successful in this business. So again, this is an old calendar, but what I really like to do is really set up a schedule for yourself that works. And again, this is one schedule that's kind of like a every week, kind of like 9 to 5 your schedule. But, again, in the mornings, you're emailing open house follow-up, right? On Mondays, you're doing Accelerate or some sort of training, or you're prospecting, maybe a webinar, lunch and self-time, post rent hop ads, do showings, right? Email and follow-up, right? But many of these things, right? For sale by owner prospecting, posting rent hop ads, mass emails and market updates, right? These are all things that are important to be doing every single week. Social media posts, right? Prep time, showings and open houses, right? Maybe again, if you have no clients you're working with, all these showing times can be previewing properties, right? Or going out and, getting keys from landlords and posting them on Rent Hop or whatever it is. We can come up with a schedule that works for you and your time. What you need to do is reach out to me and say, I want to be successful this year. What do I need to do? And we'll put together a plan and we will make you successful. And we will not only make you successful at the job of real estate, which will pay your bills, but I will make you successful and help you to be successful in the career of real estate, which will help you for the rest of your life. And again, when you know that you've made the leap from having a job to having a career, you can really spend a lot less of your time prospecting, right? And again, I'll use Suzanne as an example. She's been in the business for 50 years, right? She doesn't have to prospect that much. She does a little bit, but she doesn't have to prospect that much because she has such a loyal client base that will just call her up and say, hey, my cousin's looking to buy something, or hey, I want to sell up my house now, right? And she stays in touch with her clients, right? She meets people, she goes out in the streets, she talks to people all the time. I can't even tell you how many people or how many opportunities she had from doorman, from a hairdresser, from whoever it is she's talking to. And because she has built a career of real estate, and she's even gone to the next level where it's not even a career, it's just her life, right? Her life is that she networks and socializes with people, and they just so happen to want to buy, sell, or rent real estate from her, right? That's like step 3. So once you've got the job down, which is part of paying the bills, which is part of making sure that you can get everything needed to go, you get the career down, which is really making sure that you're doing everything you can to get your name out there. And again, to not do it in a salesy way, to not do it in a not so effective way, but are you letting everyone know the service that you can provide? And then again, you get to the lifestyle where it's just like, I work in real estate, great, and everyone knows that, and people just come to you. So we want to get you there. Most of us are not even at the job of real estate, so we got to get you there first to then get to the career. But really think about it. And the key is this: prospecting and networking, right? That this is a business where, again, as Jim Weichert, as our kind of company motto is, people buy people before they buy products or services, right? So you need to make sure that people want to work with you, want to buy you, and want you to be their agent, right? That's the greatest feeling in the world when someone says, you're my agent, right? Or, again, you've got a client who, I would never work with anyone but you. And that happens all the time, but it takes some doing, and it takes you reaching out, following up with people, and really getting yourself out there. So that is it from me. I'm going to stop the recording so we can kind of continue the conversation. But thank you guys so much.